What's up, good people? What's cracking? See me to my Bantus and Bantu identifiers. And hello, what's up to everybody. I want to do this video to just address a couple things that I've noticed pretty much ever since I left Christianity. And I think it's just I think ultimately, once we pin it down, it's just a prideful spirit of pride. But, you know, that's an easy blanket statement to just throw out there. But anyway, yeah, just wanted to do this video and address a couple things on you know, why I have pivoted so hard. So I've made like a quick right, or why it seems like I've done that. But in my life and journey, I actually didn't pivot that hard and that suddenly. Everything that, and even when the way I got at Christianity was I was still going to church. I was still going to Christian meetings. I was still running Bible studies and things like that as I was researching and finding out things that, you know, finding out the truth about Christianity, its origins, who we were in the book, and things like that. So I was still involved in the church and everything. And then, you know, then I started posting on Facebook all the things that I was finding out about the fake Jewish people and, you know, the Jewish, you know, the Jews, and, you know, those scriptures. I think the first post I made that, like, threw Christians in a frenzy. And one thing about me in Christianity, I've been around a lot in Christianity. I've done big things. I've prayed over sorry, there's a dope brand new Corvette over there. I prayed over you know, some big names and prophesied over people and things like that. So I was pretty popular in the Christian world. And so for me, I'm all about, well, what is the Most High calling me to do wherever I'm at? So whether, you know, he had me be a Christian, grow up in Christianity and things like that, and then, you know, have me find out, or whatever, wherever he has me, it's like, well, okay, what am I supposed to do here? And so so it came as a shock to a lot of my Christian friends. You know, it's funny how everybody's friends and family when you're on the same belief system, but once you get off of that belief system, then you just go, you know, everybody's ready to kick you to the curb. You know, all that lovey-dovey friendship goes away. So needless to say, I lost almost all of my Christian friends and things like that. People like that, I should say. And you know, the ones that stayed and the were, you know, they're just proven to be real people. But I also, there's a lot of people that stayed because they were in constant communication with me and they saw the journey. You know, they were along with me on the journey, and they came out of Christianity too. You guys know who you are. And so yeah, it's just, you know, and so that was Christianity. Then, you know, we're all Hebrews and you trying to figure out what's this Hebrew Israelite thing. I was in that for like 2 seconds. So a lot of the camp doctrines, I don't know. The only thing I know about the camp doctrines is what I saw on YouTube when they were debating everybody on the streets. You know, those are entertaining. And that's as far as it went. You know, there's a lot of truth in it. And they're bringing a lot of truth to the table, but also that was mixed with all kinds of demonic spirits and a lot of racism, you know, if there is reverse racism, which I'm not a really strong believer in it, but there's just a lot of hate towards everybody else and all these things, which never really sat right with me, you know, because I grew up reading the scriptures. I've always read the scriptures and the rest of the Bible, you know, and, you know, so there's things that just didn't line up with the Hebrew Israelite thing. So I never really claimed that too much because I didn't want to be associated with those camps. So yeah, so I didn't really know any, and I still don't really know what all the stuff they believe, you know. I unfollowed all of them down on YouTube and everything, you know. So anyway, that was like a small phase in, you know, the life of Munkuikizi's revelation. But every like, you know, like I posted, there's truth in everything. So then, you know, Bantu awakening, if you want to call it, started popping off, and went into that full force, you know. I think the first videos I actually watched was of Jonathan, and you know, I'm not gonna bad talk him too much in this video, but there are things that I felt were off, and that I didn't express early on because I didn't know him. And then me and him started talking, and every once in a while, and you know, if y'all don't know me by now, I'm a type of person who loves getting revelation. I love talking to the Malakis, to the angels. I love talking to the Most High. He's my dad, you know, he's my father. I mean, I talk to other gods, the ancestors, you know, and so I get information from a lot of sources, I guess you could say, spiritual sources, you know, and then on top of that, I love researching. So that's the kind of brother I am, you know, and prophesying, especially prophecy. I'm big in prophesying and all these things. And I started noticing, you know, some things that there was a lot of information that I didn't get from Jonathan. You know, I'd ask him clear questions. He would generalize and all these things. So I was just like, I want to get a hold of this brother Masia. And so I got in touch with Masia. Masia saw my videos on YouTube. And me and him just became brothers, best friends, like right off the bat. Like, he's still my brother. He's still my best friend. We talk like probably every 3 days on average. The most we go without talking is like a week, and that's because he's doing crazy stuff. He's busy, and I got a, you know, big ass family household. So yeah, so me and Masia are that's my bro, my brother right there. And I usually don't name drop. I haven't really name dropped Masia, but I feel like it's important for this video, because goodness, people just cutting you off and just going on slow. Yeah, I just felt like throwing him out there is important for this video, because with the whole every Black American or African American, you know, these are all in quotations, is Bantu, things started not really making sense to me after a couple months in, you know, or a year. Yeah, it was about a year, yeah. About a year or so in. And big gaps, you know, especially with slavery, how that went down and how it didn't go down. And if I'm frowning at these drivers, so don't think I'm mad. With how slavery went down, and how we look and all these things, and our clear differences, you know, how there's been clear differences of us over here in America, how we act, how we talk, our swag, our fashion, how we dance, how we're all the inventions that we've done in light of oppression, in light of oppression, where we're not in a place where you have, 95% just black folks, and I've been to Africa. I've been to Nigeria. I stayed out there for a couple weeks. And when I was out there, I was in the bush, staying mostly in the bush. And I'm talking about no water and all this stuff. And also, I've been to, Benin and I forgot the other cities right now that I can think of, but I've been everywhere throughout Nigeria, as far as like not the northern part of Nigeria where it's all crazy. And there would be when I got out there, they would call me Obama-san. Obama-san, you look like Obama. That's what they would call me. So that was my name out there. And I used to tell them, like, yo, y'all need to stop calling me Obama-san before I get kidnapped and y'all try to, get a brother ransom and ain't no money coming in because I'm not the son of Obama. But they said that because of my facial features isn't like theirs. And we're talking about West Africa, And my facial feature, there's a lot. When you look at people, you could tell, like I told Marcia this, like you could tell who's who from what region and all that. If you could tell a Nigerian from a Ethiopian or something. It's very easy. And so my point with that is I did a DNA test and with what's that? Ancestry.com. So the DNA tests, without going into it, are good if you want to find like distant relatives and family members, but it's entertainment when it comes to talking about where you're from and what countries you're from and all that. That's easy to research. You can Google that. You can find videos of scientists talking about how that shit is fake and all that. Anyway, I did a DNA test and was like, it came back and it said I was like almost 50% Nigerian. And I was like, the heck? I was like, huh? Like, because I had been there. And this is before I started doing really heavy research on us being Aboriginals of America. And that didn't sit right with me because literally I've been to Nigeria and I've been around the people, and I grew up around Nigerians. I'm from California where you got everybody out there. So one of my best friends growing up was Nigerian. And it's like, what? And so I was like, I was out there and they said I'm not Nigerian, So when you got the people saying, nah, you ain't Nigerian. And by the way, everybody in Nigeria was pretty dope. I loved it out there. I loved being in Africa. It was love out there. That's a story for another day. But, I was out there and they were like, you're not Nigerian. Then I go home, America, back to Cali. I do a DNA test, and DNA test says I'm basically half Nigerian. Like my mom or my dad will be full Nigerian. And so I knew right then and there it didn't satisfy this need and this desire that I had, that most of us Black Americans, have. Because we've been lied to so much. So we try to find things out, and we put hope in these external sources that wind up being scams and frauds. So anyway, it said, I was Nigerian and all this stuff, and Cameroonian. So I knew, my spirit knew that was a lie, because I was like, no, I was just out there, and a brother in Oregon that used to be my roommate was Cameroonian, straight from Cameroon. His dad was Cameroon, like Nigerian. He was light-skinned because his mom was white. But I was like, this stuff ain't making no sense. So my grandpa on my dad's side came to visit me one day, and this is the first time I had actually met him. And he just passed on last year, and so rest in peace to my papa. But And I told him, and he laughed. He like, kind of chuckled at me, and so I was like looking, and he was like, I was like, yeah, it says we're not Indian. He's like, nah. He was like, he's like, the woman that raised me, your great grandmother was full Seminole and Cherokee. And I was like what? And my grandpa was black. He's blacker than me. I got the brown mahogany, Adama from the earth skin tone, but my grandpa was dark. And so I'm like, what? He was like, yeah. And so before he passed, I was planning on going out to Kentucky, which I have been finding out a whole lot about that area, Kentucky, to visit and just get to know my family out there that I never met. I got cousins, uncles, aunties that I have never met, and I've actually got in contact with some on Ancestry, which is pretty dope. But anyway, and they look like the pictures that I've been posting. But so make a long story short, all these things weren't adding up. And that's what, and then I'm not talking about all the spiritual things, the dreams and stuff that I didn't understand. And then, one of my brothers, my good brother, Dawidi Benakongo, is my good brother right there. That's my other solid brother. Same as Masia. Me and him, we talk all the time. He had interpreted one of my dreams, and it shocked me. And I was like, what? I thought it meant this. He was like, nah, it actually means this. I think I shared the dream on YouTube, actually. So if you go to my YouTube page, you could get a taste of that dream there. But I kept digging, and I kept asking questions, and that's where I basically want to get my point is I talked to actual Bantus. My best friend is one of my best friends is the big reason why anybody knows anything Bantu, Masia. And me and him we've had deep conversations, and we don't just go back and forth. Our conversations are not just like, lineage and all this stuff. We have conversations about everything. But recently, a couple months ago, I was when I was putting all these things together and doing more research, I was asking him. I was like, man, there's some differences that aren't really making sense, like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. And dirty. And so I had gone to him, and we were just talking back and forth. It kind of got heated in some parts where I had to be like, hey, brother, you need to calm down. This is a conversation. I'm finding out just like you. And I was like, but it wouldn't be fair to my ancestors here if I just skipped them and went straight to Bantu identity. We're hundreds of years here as far as what we know. We're actually thousands of years, but stuff wasn't really, I was like, you know what, that's not sitting right with me, that I would honor a place that I have no connection to, and just ignore everything that we've gone through here, and just bypass that, and bypass all my ancestors that have died and fought for civil rights and all these things. I'm just gonna bypass that and be like, yo, I'm African, I'm Bantu. So I talked to him in that perspective, and he was like, yeah, I feel it. And we have disagreements, but and agreements, and that's the point of this video, is us as I'll just say black people. Us as black people, we got to get over this thing to where there's two things. One of the things is we got to get over this thing of We feel like we know it all once we get a piece of information. You know, like I told you, my journey, you know, Hebrew Israelite, Christianity, and now Bantu, is we don't know that much at all. Even as like humankind, there's too much to learn. There's too much to know. There's too much to find out. And what we need to stop doing, especially with each other, and I'm talking about each other now, because what I'm noticing is, okay, like I work with a bunch of white people. I don't know if you saw even in this video, all these white people that I'm around all the time, surrounded by Trump-loving, you know, white people, just the epitome of white people out here in Idaho. That's where I live right now. And I am tell you this, I don't give a damn about these people, because they don't give a damn about me. And so my attitude with them is hostile until it's not. Like, and I'm not scared. I'm not scared of anybody. I've been through too much. The Most High told me too much. I'm not scared. Like, I'm ready for action. Just say it like that. And I'm an electrician, and I actually got, you know, kicked off of a crew because I'm not scared. Because if I feel threatened as a black man, I am not going to really hold back to these white people, especially because I know who they are. I know they're racist, and I know these things. So I don't care. I literally am hostile. I'm super nice, loving, friendly, and all that. But I am hostile when it comes to people that don't look like me. And if people look like me, then I give them more of the, I'm more gentle. And that's the point of this video. A lot of y'all are more hostile towards people that look like you than you are to actual white supremacist people. And that's the kind of thing that pisses me off, because it's like you feel, maybe, I'm speculating, maybe it's easier to go off on your own people, to cut your own people off, than it is these white people, because you're more threatened by them than you are your own people. You know, maybe there's a little bit of self-hatred in there, mixed in there. Even 2% is enough to be hostile towards people that look like you, when you're not hostile towards white people. When you can't tell a white person off for doing something against you or your people, but you can tell a black person off for not believing in something that you believe, and I mean, simple as that. That's the kind of stuff that pisses me off, and that's the kind of stuff that I know the Most High does not like. And a lot of y'all do this in the name of the Most High. You know, you feel like you have this entitlement, to where it's almost like it's okay to do it. And it's crazy to me. Because like I said, I'm out here telling these white folks off, and rightfully so. And I'm over here establishing what I need to establish out here for my self-respect as just a black man, you know, and I'm using that term loosely. And I can't imagine me saying the things that I say to these white folks out here, these white grown-ass men out here, that I am completely outnumbered, and treating people that look like me with the same hostility. I can't imagine that. So it's like a trip to me when I post something on Facebook or anything. the hostility that I get from people that look like me, you know? And then I get white people that will hit me up and want to talk turkey and all this stuff, like, that are completely nice. I'm like, what the heck? You know, I'm supposed to be waking my people up. So all these Gentiles being woke. You know? Not that I have a problem with it, but the problem that I have with it is the hostility that we show each other. As we're still finding things out. We're the most lied to people on the earth in the history of humans. We're the most downtrodden people. So why do we direct that negative energy to each other? So to cut this video off, I just want to say, stop doing that. Let's grow with each other. And that's the only way we're going to do anything productive and be the people, period. Is if we just keep gathering evidence, keep gathering information together, stop finalizing on one revelation, stop finalizing on one thing and running with it, and then there's your identity. So then when that's challenged, you feel like your identity's being challenged, and that's a problem. So let's just keep growing. Let's just keep going together. Let's keep having conversations, not arguments and debates. So anyway, that's all I'm gonna say. My phone's about to die. Peace out. Salama. Salbona to y'all. And I'll talk to you soon.